Are you sick of mosquitoes in your backyard? In this video, we're going to show you how to get your backyard mosquito free with no harsh chemicals and only spending $10. In this video, we're going to be making mosquito buckets. They're very cheap, but they're also very effective. You're only going to need a handful of things, and you probably have most of them at your house already. All you need is a bucket. I use a 5-gallon bucket. I bought it from Home Depot for $4. You're also going to need some sort of organic material. I just cut my grass, so I'm using grass clippings. You also can pull some weeds and use that, or hay, or anything else that is organic. You're also going to need access to water. You can use tap water, hose water, doesn't matter as long as it's water. The most important ingredient are these mosquito dunks. I bought these on Amazon for $8. They have a material in them called BTI. It is a biological control for killing specifically mosquito larvae and eggs. The best thing about it is that the EPA says it is non-toxic for humans and pets, and it doesn't hurt other insects, specifically pollinators, which is the big issue with traditional mosquito chemicals and sprays. The entire goal of this method is to attract mosquitoes to our bucket that we're going to make. And then we're going to add the mosquito dunks into the bucket. And then mosquitoes will be attracted to this bucket. They're going to lay their eggs. And the BTI in mosquito dunks is going to kill the larvae and the eggs that the mosquito then lays. Although this method doesn't kill adult mosquitoes, generally mosquitoes only live for a few weeks. So as you implement these buckets, it's going to kill the next generation and you're going to see a drastic reduction in mosquitoes around your property. If you want to see the best results, I would recommend making these and putting them out in early spring. That way you can effectively wipe out the initial generation of mosquitoes and prevent any additional mosquitoes from being repopulated throughout the summer. Now to actually create these buckets. Depending on the size of your property is going to determine how many buckets you'll want to make. My backyard is about a third of an acre, so I'm going to use 2 of these buckets. But if you have a larger property, I would recommend creating additional buckets to account for that. And I'll be putting these in the 2 back corners of my backyard. Step number 1 is just to fill up our 5-gallon buckets about halfway to 3/4 full of water. From there, we're going to add in our organic material. As I mentioned previously, I just mowed the lawn, so I'm using grass clippings. But if you're looking for other ideas, you can use leaves, you can use grass, you can use weeds that you picked from your lawn. Anything that is organic and can decay, which will attract mosquitoes. Once you've added it into your bucket or your buckets, just go ahead and stir it around a little bit. Once you're done with that, you're going to take one of your mosquito dunks and add it into your bucket or your buckets. You technically can probably get away with breaking them in half and doing a half in each bucket, but since they're so cheap, I just went ahead and tossed a whole mosquito dunk into each one of my buckets. And then you're done. That's it. We need to place our buckets in an area of your lawn that you noticed high mosquito activity. I like to recommend areas with a lot of foliage or plants, as well as if there's a shaded area, because that's where mosquitoes prefer to repopulate. This back corner of my lawn is kind of overgrown. There's a creek behind the fence. There's lots of foliage and trees, so it is a mosquito hotspot. So I'll be placing one of my buckets here and my other bucket on the opposite side of my lawn. From here, you just let it sit. You let the organic material decay, and it's going to attract mosquitoes to lay their eggs into our bucket. And as mentioned, those mosquito dunks are going to kill the eggs and the larvae, effectively killing the next generation of mosquitoes. Because this is killing the eggs and the larvae, you're not going to see an immediate decrease in mosquito activity, but over the next few weeks, you will see a dramatic improvement on the number of mosquitoes. Prior to setting these up, I could walk outside for maybe 15 seconds before I was swarmed by multiple mosquitoes. And now I can actually walk around and enjoy my backyard, even at peak hours when mosquitoes should be all around. It is recommended to top off the water every month or so because some of it will evaporate, as well as adding an additional mosquito dunk every month to 6 weeks just to refresh and ensure you're killing additional eggs and larvae. Also, if you're someone like me that has dogs that might be interested, although the EPA says this is non-toxic, I like to be safe and I just took some duct tape and made a grid over the opening of the bucket so my dogs can't stick their head into it. You can also use chicken wire or something like that to put a covering on top, but you want to ensure that the mosquitoes can still get into the bucket. I hope this method helped. If you're looking for any other pest control tips and DIY tips, check out thepestinformer.com. For additional tips, please like this video and subscribe to check out the next videos.